Let's see. A piece of music I listened to recently is this album by called "The Colors of Chloe," by the German double bassist Eberhard Weber, and I'm not very familiar. This is a jazz record, and I am not very. I wouldn't call myself like an expert on jazz. I'm always constantly still listening to new things. Um, but I don't remember how I came into finding out about this album. But it was on a list of things I wanted to listen to when I kind of just thought, hey, let me listen to this today. It was a few days ago actually, probably last week, and Eberhard Weber is this German double bassist who I think is still alive right now, and he was popular for his kind of very atmospheric, low key jazz of some sorts that was influenced by classical music, and it was one of the most kind of beloved albums that came out of the ECM record label. And if you're not familiar with the ECM, the ECM is this I think it's this German record label that released a lot of these very beguiling jazz records in the 60s and 70s. You get a couple of records by Chick Corea, Eberhard Weber, as well as Steve Reich. I think Music for 18 Musicians came out on ECM, and Colors of Chloe is the first record by Eberhard Weber, and I don't know anything about him. I've just listened to this record, and it is not by far, but it's one of the most beautiful pieces of music that I've ever listened to. And I listen to a lot of music, so this is kind of a big thing for me to say. But The Colors of Chloe is this. It's only 40 minutes long, but when I listened to it, it filled me with so much just joy and beauty and love and all of this. And if you ever see the album cover, it actually looks very pretty as well. And as someone who is not very well versed with jazz, in terms of double bassists, I don't really know any other double bassists. Well, actually, Mingus is one. I'm a fan of Mingus, but I haven't really engaged with a lot of his work. Actually, I have listened to one of his albums recently. Let me look for it. Recently, I've been actually listening to Pithecanthropus erectus, which I think is his first album. And I'm a big fan of Tijuana Moods and Black Saint and the Sinner Lady. But anyway, so Eberhard Weber, and the thing is, I don't really know what much to say about it, except that I thought it was one of the most beautiful pieces of music I've ever listened to, and I highly recommend checking this out. Listen to it straight. I think the highlight of the album is the last song, which is called No Motion Picture. It's a 20-minute long epic that it's just so lovely. Sometimes there's just some kinds of pieces of music that you're just so much in awe of the beauty that you don't really have anything to say, because it's just that anything that you kind of say in order to kind of express what you feel about it is gonna be kind of just not good enough, and will be a bad, inadequate representation of the music. But this is definitely going to kind of cement it. Listening to it, just the first time, it already cemented itself in one of my probably top 100 favorite albums from just the first listen, and I listened to it a couple of times since, and it's still so beautiful. It kind of, even if you're not into, this is not this is not like experimental fusion jazz that you may be getting around the time this came out in the 70s, with the records of Miles Davis, who's also I've been listening to quite a bit lately. I've been listening to On the Corner. I've been listening to that a lot lately, as well as I listened to Sketches of Spain, because I wanted to hear his kind of rendition of Concierto de Aranjuez. which is one of the best guitar pieces ever, probably, by Joaquin Rodrigo. Anyway, so whatever. I think I'm really just kind of stalling. I don't really have much to say. Colors of Chloë, Eberhard Weber. He is still alive right now, and this is his first album that came out when he was 34, and it's very melancholic. It's very lovely. It's very sweet, and it's probably best if you just stop this video right now and just go and listen to it. It's all over Apple Music, Spotify. Very beautiful stuff. Check it out.